Hey guys, I am going to teach you how to make some onion pesto. We're just going to use the green tops off of onions. So I hear that chopping off the green parts of your onions and leaving the bulb 3 to 4 inches high will actually help the bulb to grow a little bit bigger. So I've seen some YouTube videos. Why would you throw that stuff away? I grew up in New York. We loved pesto. We used basil, we used pine nuts. That gets expensive unless you're growing it in your garden. So I want to show you how to make this delicious recipe. My mouth is actually watering right now thinking of it. And honestly, I've made it a few times. I might have like 8 or 9 pints out in my freezer, and my husband might be sick of it already. But we're going to do it again because I want to share it with you guys. So ingredients that we're going to need: onion tops. I still need to go out to the garden. It is blistering hot out here, so I just wanted to show you beforehand the ingredients so you can go and grab those. Pipe, no. Sorry, dog's barking. Other ingredients that we're going to need: a lemon for the lemon zest and some lemon juice. We're going to need some Parmesan cheese, any brand that you want, not the cheap crap from the grocery store. You want to grade these. I have some extra pine nuts that I've bought in bulk from my local grocery store. Right now they're like $20 a pound. So I want to experiment probably with some walnuts. Those are cheaper. You can buy like 3 pounds of walnuts right now at Costco for 10 bucks. Lots cheaper. And then we have some kosher salt, ground black pepper, some garlic, and extra virgin olive oil. So I'm going to go out to the garden, maybe give you a sneak peek and let you know what I'm going to do. Get some of those tops, bring them in, wash them, and we'll continue. See you out there. Okay, green onion tops. Right in the garden. Let me turn this. I'm going to show you what I did a couple weeks ago. So you're going to cut the tops of your greens off, leave about 3-4 inches of those greens on top. They're going to keep on growing. So I was experimenting, seeing if these onions would actually die back and stop growing, but they look good. So intertwined with all of this jungle, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 rows of onions that go the whole length back. So instead of wasting all of this deliciousness, we're going to cut it off and make some pesto. Whew. All right. Have a whole grundle full of onion tops, and I told you I'd show you a sneak peek of the garden. Oh, look at that cute little dragonfly. Hello. So this year we have some green beans, a whole bunch of lettuce that's gone to seed. This rhubarb plant I have already picked, made some strawberry rhubarb chutney, dehydrated some, froze dried some. Delicious. This is just my next project. Ugh. So I'm trellising my tomatoes this year, and so far they are turning out amazing. More tomatoes, more tomatoes. The cutest hollyhock plant ever by a trellis. So we have some squash underneath there that we're gardening. Lots of herbs that got out of control. And another trellis that I put some Armenian and Minnesota midget on. I've never grown potatoes, but those suckers look so happy. So I have some peppers down there. Just 3 beds this year so far. Another cute little spontaneous hollyhock that decided to grace us with her presence. Down there's my viney stuff. It is hot today. It is almost 100 degrees. Woo! Bee. So, yeah. Going inside. Alright. Back inside, I'm just filling up my sink with cold water so I can wash these sweet little babies. So let's see. I need to confess something to you guys. How do you turn this around? Guess you can't. Let me stop it. Okay, back inside. I didn't melt too much. So what I'm doing, I have my onions, filling up my sink full of water so I can rinse all of the dust and dirt, maybe a couple bugs in there. That's how you know it's organic. I'm gonna rinse that off. But while we are propping you up right here, yep, my fly trap, that's embarrassing. But our neighbors have a lot of animals, which I love, but we have a lot of flies, especially this time of year. So, I want to tell you something. This is my first YouTube video and I'm really nervous. I keep on looking at the screen and I know I'm supposed to look at you, so forgive me on that one. I don't have any special lighting features. I don't have like a prop thing for my phone. I'll get there. This is my first one. I just want to do it so I can get up the courage to do some more. I want to teach you guys the things that I do. I have lots of people that ask me to teach them things, to make applesauce, to make bread, to can things, to food storage, to, I don't know. I've always kind of thought that I've been a old soul in a younger, per se, body. But you know what? I love it. My family loves it. My husband, my son loves it. But most of all, I love it. Take a lot of pride in the things that I know and do, the things that I've learned. So, I don't know. I just thought that today's the day. I'm going to start. So, I hope you guys want to follow me through this adventure, learn some new things. If you have questions or if you want me to experiment and work things out and show you how to do it, I'm more than happy to. I love to can, to garden, to preserve, to cook from scratch, to teach people, to have people over for dinner, to make anything, you name it. I don't think there's anything besides, I hate to say it, there's probably going to be a lot of people that don't agree with me, but I'm allergic to avocado, so I will not be making guacamole or anything with avocado. But it's alright. There's other videos that'll show you how to do that. Alright, so I don't know how to turn my camera around. I'm videoing. Yep, look how smart I am. So I have my onion tops in water. Just rinsing them off, and yep, you're going to see like little dead ones that are half gone, the bottom's still alive. So I'll go through here, I'll cut them up. What you want to do is get 6 cups of onions ready. So I've already made this recipe, embarrassing to say, probably half a dozen times. I've tweaked it a little bit here and there each time, but I know that it's going to take basically my whole blender for 6 cups. So I'm going to show you how I do it. Alright, first thing that you want to do, you want to brown these. That's embarrassing, I have a little splatter on my stovetop, but you want to roast these pine nuts. It takes half a cup. I will figure out how by the time that I post this video, how to post the recipe. Alright, first thing that I want to add to my blender is my cheese. I know this package is 8 ounce, and for the recipe we want about 3/4 cup of Parmesan cheese, depending on what you like. And so I'm just going to basically chop this up so it's not so huge, put it in my blender. I'm going to add the rest of the ingredients, which is kosher salt. Hold on, let's see. I apologize, let me... Don't lose track of these babies. You just want to toast them just a little brown. So you are going to want a teaspoon of kosher salt, half a teaspoon of pepper, garlic, about 3 cloves. So I'll probably just do a heaping teaspoon. I love garlic. I honestly always put so much garlic in my stuff. We're going to use extra virgin olive oil to taste. I going to zest this lemon using this little tool right here. So I want the zest of 1 lemon and then a tablespoon of the lemon juice. And then 6 cups of my onion greens. I'm gonna put it in this blender. I'm gonna show you how I do it. All right, you just see how this is starting to have a little goldness added to it. It's probably not quite half a cup of pine nuts, but it's gonna be okay. Just keep shaking it. If you have no feeling left on your fingertips like I do sometimes, go ahead and use your fingers. So I'm gonna turn that off because I think those are a good spot. All right, set those aside, wait for that pan to cool down. Here we go. I relocated. I think that this might be a little bit better so I don't have to keep pushing stop. So I do not have a food processor. A lot of people have food processors. I think that's the only gadget that I actually don't have. So I love my blend tech. I am going to put a link in the bottom if I can figure out how to do that also, so that you can look into a blend tech. I love this. I know my mom and my sister, at least one of my sisters has a Vitamix. My mom actually has blend tech also. She is where I learned stuff from. So when I was little, I used to have to be the one. I feel, my sisters would probably feel differently, but I feel like I cooked a lot when I was little. That was my job. So I have 2 older sisters, 2 younger brothers. My mom worked a lot. Growing up, our father passed away at an early age, unfortunately, but okay, so that's about half a teaspoon of pepper. Now I want about a teaspoon, and yeah, I don't use measuring utensils usually because I've cooked for so long. So half a teaspoon of pepper, 1 teaspoon of kosher salt. Where's my garlic? We want to add 3 cloves of garlic. That's about 2. 3. I already put my 3/4 cup of Parmesan cheese in there. So we want the zest of 1 whole lemon. Lemon, we're just gonna give it a little zing flavor, freshness. It'll help preserve it after we put it in the freezer. I believe that actually helps the greens keep its color too. So you don't want to peel off necessarily any of that white if you can help it, but it's not going to hurt you. You can still eat it. It's natural. So some of the things that I like to put this on that I have found, which I'm a newbie to this green top pesto. Oh my goodness. I will put it in pasta when I make pasta salad. I've put it on scrambled eggs. I love pesto. I love onion. I love garlic, anything. So one of my favorite things to eat out of the garden are the tomatoes. So during the summer, you can stop by my house at any time, and my husband and I are probably eating BLTs. I have an awesome recipe that I'm going to show you hopefully one of these days, how to make some artisan bread in the Dutch oven. That's really, really good. So lemon zest is done. We're just going to add that to the blender. I just want a tablespoon of the lemon juice. Another favorite gadget of mine is a little strainer. These lemons, I don't want any of the seeds in here because that would just be bleh. So I'm just squishing half a lemon. It'll be fine. Honestly, this doesn't have to be exact because we're going to taste it and we're going to add to whatever you like. We're going to add more salt. I'm a salt lover. So what we can do now, what I have found is easier to add some of this extra virgin olive oil to my blender. Since I don't have a food processor, if you do, you would add this a little bit at a time. I need to improvise because I have not treated myself to a food processor yet. So, and what I found easiest for me is to keep pulsing this so the cheese will kind of grind up, because I was too lazy. I don't want to shred it. You could always shred it first. That's a good start, and I can see that this mixture is thick enough that it's actually staying in my knife a little bit, so I'm obviously going to add some olive oil, and I'm going to do that now before I finish filling the onion greens. 6 cups of onion greens to this. So I first added probably 1/4 cup of olive oil. I'm going to add another 1/4 cup. I'm going to cut up my onions. Okay, I lie. I'm not cutting them up. I am just pulling them apart. Because I love simple cooking. The less things that I dirty, the less I have to wash. So, if there's kind of like the drier parts on the top of my onion, I'm just going to pull those off. But, oh man, I cooked so many onions. I'm going to make tons of this tonight. That's fine though. So you have to think about how many times a month, this is how I think about it, how many times a month would I use a pint of this for my family, for meals, if we're gonna go to families' houses or friends' houses and get together and, I don't know, bring some for a treat to work, to like teach people how to do stuff. I love sharing food. I love to cook. That's probably my biggest passion in life. So, I don't mind. And I love experimenting and having people try new things. Me, I mean, I've never tried this onion top pesto. I wish I would have years ago because it's amazing. Oh, it smells so good. Almost there. What else do you guys do with onion tops? Do you do anything? Or do you just wait for the plant to kind of, the onions, the greens on the onions to kind of tip over? Because that's when you are supposed to be able to tell when your onions are done and they're ready to harvest. Alright, if you have some water leaking into there, it'll be fine. There. Alright. No, I freaking have a lot of onions. We're gonna keep going. A couple more. It'll be fine. I don't think anything that you make homemade actually turns out horribly. My mom used to experiment when we were little. Maybe that's why I'm not afraid anymore. Alright. Put the top on. We're going to start pulsing this. Oh, hello. I might want to add these pine nuts. See, I told you I was nervous. I don't know why. The pine nuts. What I was reaching for, it reminded me the pine nuts were still in the pan. Just something to just smush that down so we can keep pulsing this. I'm asking Santa for a food processor this year. Because I think that would be so much easier. I think I need a little bit more olive oil. So I've probably added a cup total by now. I can tell it's time to add some more olive oil. Another 1/4 cup. It's looking good. Smells amazing. Let me show you what consistency looks like right now. So this is what I like. Where it kind of stays on your spoon, but it's gonna come off. Look how pretty green that is. Oh my goodness. Let's give it a little taste. Needs more salt. So it's fine. Oh. Way too much. So I'm just gonna add a little salt and pepper just to taste. I really do not taste that lemon in there, which is fine. If you want a little bit more lemon juice, just add some more in. Alright. Let's taste with a clean finger. That might be my favorite thing that I'm going to make the whole summer. It's done. It's ready. You can't hot bath this in the canner to keep it on your shelf. You have to keep it either in your refrigerator and use it, or you can freeze it in your freezer. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to put it in some pint jars. I don't want to freeze in quarts. That is a lot. So let's freeze it in some pints. I'm going to show you what to do with that too. I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory, but I'll just show you. All right, here we have it. Sorry if those lights are in the way. Funnel makes your job a lot easier. So we're just gonna pour it into our pints. I figure this is probably 2 to 3 pints, so I make more than one batch at a time. Like I said, I probably have to be out in the freezer. Move on to the next one. What I have been doing lately, since canning lids are so hard to find, and they have been since last year, I'll reuse my lids for the things that I keep shelf stable, like dried pastas, herbs that I dehydrate, things that I put in the freezer, because you don't have to hot bath these. The seal's already been used once, but don't throw these away. Keep reusing them. My mom said that when we were little, she would actually use the lids like 2 or 3 times. We're still alive, but I wouldn't recommend it. The FDA doesn't. But that's how you do. Label that. Green top pesto, whatever you want to call it. Deliciousness is what I'm going to name it. Put it on some sandwiches. Put it in pasta. Like I said, put it on some eggs. Maybe just take some spoonfuls once in a while like I do, just for a little Italian kick. Alright, I hope that you enjoyed that. I hope you try it. I will put the recipe in the link below, and I will see you on my next video. Go ahead and like, subscribe, follow me, give me feedback. Let me know what you want to try. Bye.